movies for black girl nerds.
Ms. Haddish, you look gorgeous. Thank you for your time on this Sunday. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
What I liked about Lalinda is she affects William's life, but she doesn't lose herself in the process. She stays pretty true to who she is. How do you think she best affects his life?
Well, she opens his heart up a little bit, gives him the notion of maybe he's willing or he deserves some love. So I think that's how she affects him.
This movie has such a cool, like kind of a vintage type of feel. Made me think of those old shows like Vegas and like some of those shows in a sense. What did you find most enjoyable about this film and your role in it as Lalinda?
I felt the thing that was most enjoyable for me while we were filming it was, working with Oscar, working with Paul. I learned a lot from both of them. I feel like it was a really great experience in a way for me to grow. And I did grow a lot. I learned a lot. I mean, when I first got there, I was not the best. I was not ready. She was not ready. Those rehearsals, I love a good rehearsal. Now, rehearsals where you can mess up, make mistakes, that's where you dare to suck, right? That's where you can be atrocious and really figure out where does this character go? What do I want for my character? And then, bam, we jump into it on camera and it's like clicking. Everything is clicking, right? So that was the most fun. I think the rehearsals and just working with the guys, period, was just great.
They always say that, there's a lot of common line between comedy and drama. And I love the trajectory that you're on. And are you straddling that line? Is this a move to going into more serious things? Because this is a great line for you.
I got a comedy role coming up next, and then a semi-dramatic role, and another comedy role, and then another very dramatic role. Like, I'm mixing it up. I'm having fun. I'm growing.
You are, most definitely. And it's a treat to watch it because we've enjoyed you just being on this ride with you. So lastly, when you look at Lalinda, if you could give Lalinda some good advice of how to navigate this guy who's got this card career, he's not sure he wants to stay in, but she wants to support. Well, they'll see what happens ultimately in the end. But what advice would you have given Lalinda on how to stay on this ride with William?
I would tell Lalinda to dig a little more and spend a little more time with him. And hold him more. That character to me seemed like he needed some hugs.
Definitely.
Maybe a little more sex. I don't know.
Yeah, okay, Miss Haddish. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They'll see what's up.
It's not the remedy for everything, but it's one of my go-tos.
I know that's right. I know that. Well, I thank you, ma'am. It is always a pleasure. Always great to see you, and good luck. And I'm excited for folks.
Thank you.
Hello, Tye. Thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, the pleasure is mine. When we meet Kirk with the C, he is so adamant about that more so even than his last name or anything else about him. Why do you think that's such a tethering thing for him compared to his last name that he shares in common with his father?
I don't know. I think it's maybe he's just taking pride in the uniqueness of his name. That's all I think that is.
Yeah, when we meet him, he's kind of stumbling around, and he and William cross paths, and he kind of tethers himself to him. What is it about William that connects the two of them so they start their journey?
Well, it's their past. It's the fact that Oscar's character, Bill Tell, was a former interrogator, as was Kirk's father. And they actually were the same base at one point. So that's the connective tissue between the two characters.
There's some very intense things as he learns of his father's past. how do you think learning those kind of alters his journey when he has an idea of what the details are, but really knowing firsthand what was occurring with his father and how it changed him?
Yeah, I think he's spent a long time trying to imagine, what to picture, what to make of it all. And it's, of course, he's very, he's done all of his research, evidently. And I think when he hears it, from a first person perspective, when he tells him what it was like, I think that there's some sense of relief there and some sense of, longing to understand what it was like. And I think it's, it's complex because I think, William Tell's doing it to try to steer him away and try to enlighten him on the chaos. And I think it only fuels the fire. It's brewing in Kurt.
Mm-hmm. When I've spoken to you before about, you have a really keen eye on unique projects. What was it about this one that spoke to you that kind of pulled you into it?
I think it was the thematically what the movie's exploring. I think it was, I worked with Oscar once before. I loved working with him. I think he's a great actor, and getting to work with Paul Schrader, who's a living legend. So there are a couple things, I think that were exciting about the movie.
Mm-hmm. This was very, very unique in that with your character's journey, Tiffany's character, all of you have these very different journeys you're on. Ultimately, how did you all come together at the end once it was wrapped and it was done?
Well, it was kind of strange because we had actually stopped production 3 weeks on our last week because of COVID. We had to shut down. And so when we got back, we only, that was months later. So, and everything was kind of sensitive and strange. And so, and I only had 2 days. I only owed 2 days of photography when we came back. I was just happy we got to finish the film. I think as was everyone, and everyone's trying to be as careful as possible. So there weren't any kind of big celebrations or anything like that.
Well, thank you for your time. It was very unique, and I enjoyed talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Likewise. Appreciate it.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerves.